Good Friday morning to all. How you doing? As I was lying in bed this morning, thinking of something to share that would bring you great encouragement for today, a thought stuck in me about what's going on in our world. Struck me. I can't even read my own writing. It struck me what's going on in our world. Who do you trust? Do you trust anyone? Can you even trust your own thoughts? Good morning, Mara. Sometimes I wish I could merely escape the finger pointing, the self-aggrandizing, and the contentiousness that is making up so much of the world today. Calgon, take me away. Except I don't fit in our tub. I'm too big. I need to put it in a new tub. I digress. So much of what I hear and read, I cannot believe. I just don't trust it. What's a fella to do? What am I to do? John 14:1. Hey, Bird. John 14:1, NLT. Do not let your hearts be troubled. Trust in God. Trust also in me. There's only one remedy for the untrusting, troubled heart. There is only one. Do we trust God? Do we trust Jesus? Do our actions line up with our words? That's the question. Today, I would like to offer this thought for us to consider. Perhaps our troubled heart is because we don't trust God. Not really. Perhaps that's what's troubling our heart. We trust in what we know. We trust in what we want. And we trust in what we expect to be. And if we're honest, all of that seems to be transitional phase right now, doesn't it? It seems to all be a little transitional. It troubles you, it troubles me, we don't like it. Just being honest. We declare the fraud, the injustice, or we declare the foolishness that these outrageous claims are being made. That's where we are as a country. It's either fraud or it's crazy to say it's fraud. It's either injustice or it's crazy to say it's injustice. We're for it, we're against it. But do we trust God? Doesn't God see what's going on? Well, consider this. God sees everything that's going on. He sees all the stuff, the good, the bad, the things that we should be concerned with. We're kind of being overwrought with this crazy election. We're overwrought with the emotions of this pandemic. The numbers are spiking again. I mean, I don't know how we deny it, and yet we do. I don't know. I certainly don't want to get it. I don't know the severity of it, but I do know that there are people who are severely ill. I don't know if it's from the COVID, but they do have the COVID. Yeah. You're right, Mary. Should I bring that up? Okay, I got you. Even in downtown, Little Fallbrook, or as Mara would call it, Mayberry. Yesterday, somebody walked into a retail establishment wearing an older person. I'm assuming she was an older lady. That's all we have in Fallbrook, are older ladies that shop there. And she was wearing a mask that said Trump on it. The retailer aggressively removed her from her location and hurt her. I mean, it's just people. We are just caught up in the lunacy. God sees it. He sees it all. He sees the homeless person on the street. being treated worse than people treat their animals. He sees that. He sees the social injustice, absolutely. But that social injustice goes both ways. It's a social injustice. He sees everything. He also sees the good works, the good deeds, the good that we are doing. Where are we focused? What do we trust? Do not let your hearts be troubled. Trust in God, and Jesus says, trust also in me. Learning to trust can be a difficult undertaking, even truly trusting God. It's hard to let go of the control we have in our lives. It's hard to let go. Things are needing to be fixed, and it needs it now before it's too late. One thing I'm sure of, God knows what's going on. Can you trust him? I guess that's a choice for you to make. If you trust him or not. All that is in the balance is your heart. That's all that's in the balance if you're trusting God. That's what the verse says. Do not let your hearts be troubled, trust in God. If you don't trust in God, you have a troubled heart. And this heart, I looked this up in Strong's. I want to leave you with this thought. This heart, how it is described technically with this biblical word, is the center and seat of your spiritual life. The soul is the fountain and seat of your thoughts, your passions, your desires, your appetites, your affections, your purposes, and your endeavors. That's all that's at stake here. Just, everything. I hope we can consider these words today. These are not words of condemnation. These are words of contemplation. I don't condemn people. I'm not condemning anyone individually. If I'm condemning anyone, I'm condemning myself for where I come up woefully short in some of these things some of the time. Desiring to have full trust in God is my heart. And man, I am not there better than I was, but I'm not all the way there. These words are for us to contemplate as the day goes on. Is my heart troubled? Do I truly trust God? Do I truly trust Jesus to understand what I'm going through and to help me? And I would say today that God is saying, yeah, I see what's going on. I see everything. The thing that's bothering you and the stuff that's bothering me. My prayer for each of us today is that we choose wisely. Because these choices that we make, trusting or not trusting, there's a lot in the balance. I want to pray. Father, I pray today that we can trust you. We can trust you in this difficult time of uncertainty, this challenging time of unrest. Experiencing yesterday, seeing what's going on in a retail store, my goodness, in a small town full of good people. The uncertainty of it all. Lord, I pray for your peace and calm to overwhelm our hearts, that our troubled hearts, and we're all, if we're honest, all of us have a bit of a troubled heart. Some just manifest wonderfully weird. But I pray that our hearts can be calmed, that we can learn to truly trust you, especially in those areas that we just aren't real excited with what we see. Lord, I pray for each and every one who tunes in today, that their heart would be enlightened to the truth that God is trustable and that you have our best interest at heart, all of us. I pray for a peace and calm for this nation and for us individually, in Jesus' name. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you have a good day. The Vanguard's on duty. See ya.